Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Radioactive Curry, our international subscribers. Dude, I don't know if you guys have looked or not, but Three Idiots has done really well. We had taken a dip, but Three Idiots is doing well. So
cool.
Like,
Three Idiots was a good movie.
That's because it's the picture you picked.
Let's be fair, they picked it. All right, this week's movie is KGF Chapter 1. It is about Rocky, a young man seeks power and wealth in order to fulfill a promise to his dying mother. His quest takes him to Mumbai, where he gets involved with the notorious gold mafia. Starring Yash, Srindichi Shetty, Ramachandra Raju, Tamana, Anant Nag, and Achyuth Kumar. All right, yeah, I'm getting better and better at these. Good times. The film is newer than I thought, 2018, which is a trip that they're going to get 5 movies out in the next, or that they get 3 movies out in 5 years, based off of this one. But let's see.
Wait. There's a third one?
There's a third one.
Is it out yet?
Is there a KGF 3? KGF franchise is getting its third part, but wait might be longer than you expected. The third installment of this movie was announced in the mid-credit sequence of KGF 2. It's expected in 2025.
Shit.
Well, the world's going to be over by then, so I guess not.
No.
And he doesn't even crack the smallest bit of a smile when he says that either. All right,
Fuck.
KGF. Okay, it starts with the boy Rocky, who has a small bit of an intro scene at the beginning, and then his interactions with his mom growing up are shown to us through flashbacks throughout the movie as it's happening. 2 hours and 20 minutes, and wasn't swords and sandals, but had the feeling. Had the feeling. This one, it felt like manufactured Bollywood to me. It felt like it was it didn't feel as, thus far during our journey in the radioactive curry canoe through the Ganges, the movies they've had a lot of heart and creativity, and they've all felt original and special. And this one, maybe if we had seen this one earlier in our canoe down the Ganges, this one felt like it was taking Indian movie tropes and just kind of using them in the movie, and it didn't feel anywhere near as genuine as the previous ones did. I saw that it had, and this is, when I first saw it taken, I thought it was okay. The herky-jerky, really quick flashes of scenes, and I know you know what I'm talking about, Fuzzy, where they just smash a bunch of quick edits of action shots.
Yeah.
And it's
almost
smash cutting. Is that what it's called exactly?
Yeah,
smash
cutting.
Okay. Yeah. It seemed like all of the fights were smash cutting, and I know that since it is from 2018, that's like the pinnacle of when somebody would think that smash cutting is what you want to do, and it just, to me, it dates this movie, and this one is not, it's not holding the regard that the other movies did to me, for sure, at this point.
I second that. Look, dude. All right. you got me in the first 10 minutes. I was like, this is their version of Scarface. Like the mom was like, the world is yours. I was like, oh fuck, dude, this is gonna be awesome, dude. Like I can't wait, fuzzies. I think I did what I did to Cocaine Bear with this movie. Like I pumped it up in that first 10 minutes. I was just like, oh dude, he's gonna fuck. I'm gonna point out the things I love first because you always start things off nicely. Okay, so that's how you do it, dude.
Flush and stab.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the fight sequences were brutal as shit, dude. Like I want a shovel now. Like I want to own. Fuck the sledgehammer. Fuck the pipes. That shovel scene when he's walking around, all you hear is ding, 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 and then he gets bored with hitting people in the head, so he chops people's arms off and shit. But not like like a sword chop. He puts it down and digs a hole in the fucking arm, dude. I was like, I was getting excited like at that part. You know what I mean? And there was parts of the cinematography. I agree with a lot of what you were saying about like the cuts, but there was parts of the cinematography I really liked. Like because in my opinion, this is what happened with the director.
It was like half John Woo, half smash cut.
He started making the movie, right, and he's like, Michael Bay is a god. And so he has the bright color, he's walking, there's fire everywhere. Even the fucking dance scene when they're introducing Rocky, it was metal. Like I was like, I just needed to hear a guitar go. I'd have been all into that thing. Like just fuck yeah, dude. Like that's badass. But then he walks into that dance club that were with the girl, and then he went home and smoked a joint and watched the Grindhouse. And he's like, man, look how cool the Grindhouse looks. We should do this in this scene. And bam, it became a Grindhouse thing. Like it even has the grain and shit like that, like it's all. And I was just like, okay. I was like, it's a little bit of this, it's a little bit of that. But again, it was still gangster. Like even down to when he backed the truck into the building because they were like, so you touch me, you can have me. And he's like, no, you think he pussied out. And he just drove a thing and he's walking around smoking a cigarette. And I'm just like, that's pretty fucking badass, dude. Like I was like, I like that, dude. But then there was those tropes at that, even in that moment where he's like about to touch her and she makes the weird face and then all of a sudden becomes a romantic, and he's just like, what are you talking about? I would never do that to you, kind of thing. And then fucking, shit, like it has some great fuzzy scenes and there were fuzzies like, yes, dude, like I'm not going to lie. I cheered like 20 times in this movie, but it was literally all the fight scenes. That's it. Like they were some badass fight scenes. But then you motherfuckers went and twisted it and gave me a Sandals and Swords movie that I did not want to see. Okay, all of a sudden he's in fucking the Indiana Jones scene for an hour and a half, and he can't decide if he's gonna whoop ass or not. And I was like, you just whooped all these people's asses for half the movie, and now you're just like, well, wait, we got to be patient. We got to be patient. We got to be patient. And then the other thing I love, like the narration, that it's an interview, you know what I mean? And it's a guy telling the story. Fucking love that. I love that because then it's mythical. You know what I mean? It's almost believable. This part I liked, but I hated. He's Superman. He's the Incredible Hulk. Like nothing can kill him. He did not once come up to an opponent that you were like you watch a Van Damme movie and there's always the big, fucking, you're like, just from the looks, you go, he's going to get his ass kicked. You know what I mean? And he ends up winning and stuff. And we cheer. This dude mowed through everyone. Like I don't think one person got a hit on him. Like everyone they were shooting guns at him. Fucking then the fact, like he is the living, breathing Terminator. Rocky is, dude. Like that's why I was like, Jesus, this guy's badass. But where's the guy?
He would have been if this was a Western movie, he would have had to have been at least a woman, if not carrying some kind of rainbow flag, because there was no unscathed, unscathed.
But no, I didn't get to the part that made me yell, and you guys know what it is.
When at the beginning, when they had all the sores on their face.
No,
the smoking warning.
Oh, dude, my kid looked at me and kept going like, "Dad, you need to stop smoking, dude." And I was just like, "Fucking dumb, damn it!" But no, the goddamn Lord of the Rings ending, okay? Fuck you and your fucking... We're getting there. The fire's breathing big. Here we go. We're going to go. And you got to wait for the next one. I said, what the fucking... and I should have known that. I went in there and I even texted you guys. I said, which one are we watching? What is this, chapter 1 or chapter 2? We're watching them both. And now you're telling me there's a fucking third one, so I have to sit through 2 more? Because you know the fuzzy tick. That tick I have where fucking if there's a sequel, I got to see it. So
you still haven't seen Balu Bali 2.
Because you did. You guys told me all I needed to know, and I said that's good. I'm not saying it's M. Night Shyamalan, but it was up there. It was up there. But this one was just they gave me. It's the reason why I don't like M. Night Shyamalan, because you're gonna tell me I'm getting something, and then you trick me and you give me something else. And it's not a tasty something else. You know, if it's a tasty something else, I'm a happy camper. But if it's fucking like, I'm going to give you a chocolate chip cookie, no wait, here's a bowl of shit.
These are curd chips.
Yeah, you know, I was all in on this movie. I'm telling you, like I was smiling. I was like, cool, dude. It's gonna be a mafia, like fucking. You know, he's killing it. Gonna get going there, and he's gonna beat me. We're gonna meet another that one Coke guy from that one thing. I was even gonna say he was what was the one, Vikram? I thought he was more badass than Vikram. Like this Rocky is that badass, but he didn't go against anything where I was like, nothing can stop him. Like, you know, he was invincible. So that was why I didn't like this one that much, dude. This is now I'm not saying it was bad, but it's the worst one we've seen so far, in my opinion.
We made the mistake of watching the second one. So
Well,
we know
what she means is we watched both of them.
we watched both of them.
Does it get out of the pit? That's all I want to know. Does he go to the thing?
Yeah.
And if I swear to God, does he climb the mountain and then they say, oh, wait, there's another building?
No.
Was the other one 2 hours and 20 minutes also?
Yes.
Yes.
So you guys put 5 in on this?
Yes, sir.
Oh, God bless you. Was it just because you were enthralled with it? Or
Because
Yes.
the way they ended, and I was like, son of a bitch. And I looked at the clock and went, we'll get to bed before midnight. Let's do this. And Josh was like, fuck you, okay.
I threw my controller. I said, fucking shit. And I walked away. And I was like...
So I equate this one to, I mean, he's a badass. But, there was nothing that seemed to hurt him. You see him get beat up once, and that's when he's a kid.
Yeah, okay. No, I forgot about that.
That's the only time you get to see him.
Even when he's hanging, you're like, he's just like, I was, oh my fucking God,
So,
he's
like,
dead.
they don't even show him get his ass kicked to hang. It's like he hung himself there and kicked his own ass just to set them up.
He was like cutting himself and shit. He's like, all right, we're good.
Well, the problem is that coming off of watching the Raid, and all the Raid is just fight scene after fight scene after fight scene after fight scene. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like what this is. It's just from one fight scene to another. Like, okay, we did this, so now how can we do something different in a different fight scene? You know what I mean? And so it was just like kind of like up the ante a little bit here and there, or they put them in different things, and then they threw like a little mob story behind them. About how he's supposed to be some, like, is he the hero? Is he the villain? Don't know.
I liked that.
What's his motivation really? Like, yeah, he wants to conquer the world, but he's still kind of loyal to somebody. You know, it's this first movie is very it sets the stage for him. The second movie is all about him. And
does he meet Sean Connery in the second movie?
No, he doesn't meet Sean Connery in the second movie. It's not no.
But he does meet up with a guy that we thought was the same guy who plays in Vikram, but it's not.
But it's not.
But it looks like
it looks a lot like him. And
I was like, oh shit, it's Rocky versus Vikram.
I was going to be like, you sold me. I'm going to watch it.
I thought
right
Rocky
now.
at first. I thought he was Ram with a beard.
So did I. I had to double check, but it's not Ram.
But
dude, that beard that he has, that Rocky has, That's a
It's
flop.
badass. Oh,
His-
dude, I want one. I want one.
His antithesis, his counterpart, his villain or hero, I don't know, depending on what, in the next movie, it's worth it. His
So he does end up going against somebody that can actually fight him.
Yes.
Okay, because that was my biggest complaint in this whole thing. Because I was just like, there's no importance to it. Like the parts that I did, like, you know, like the scene where the girl's about to get the bread in the street, and he fucking pulls up, you know, and he pulls the gun out, and that was why I liked the whole idea of them telling the stories, because it's a mythos, you know, it's believable that, you know, that's how people tell the story. This guy stepped out and his car stopped as he, you know, protected this person and shit. And so I like that, but I mean, yeah, he was. I mean, even our stories like Hercules or, you know, the Greek stories, there was always somebody going against, like, that can hurt the hero. So that's why I was like, that was like my biggest complaint in the whole thing.
The thing is too is that when the storytelling, and halfway through the storytelling the guy goes, oh wait, did I jump ahead? Did I get ahead of myself?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like time differential things. It wasn't really a flashback. It was a flashback, but not really a flashback. It's a future. They pull a little bit of Pulp Fiction time nonsense on you, and you don't realize how much of it until the second movie too. There's a lot of things that happen in this movie that, like, time wise, isn't linear with what you think is happening. It's kind of cool. Like the second movie is pretty good too, but this one,
I was gonna put the second. I was gonna put the follow up on a back burner for a little bit. Come back to it when I forgot how much I.
Like this isn't. I'm kind of like with Fuzzies. It's not my favorite one that we've seen so far. It's still a good movie. It's great action. It was getting a little tedious with the flashing. Like it would show a scene and then cuts to black. You know, there's a little bit of that going on in there. Yeah, a lot of that. My favorite fight scene though was in the tunnel during the blind, like when the guy is with the old man and he shows up and he like blows out the match, or he like,
I know, it's like a horror film.
It's like
it
turns into a horror movie.
But
the best shot is that, like, it's like the second or third guy to get taken, but he has the flashlight and it falls, but it's in a tube. So the way it looks is it looks like it's even further away, and you can like see him in the darkness taking him. I was like, it's like, you pissed Rocky off, dude.
I have to say, that was probably my favorite like fight scene out of all of between the two movies. That was probably my favorite fight scene too, is that one. But yeah, this one, like I said, it's a good movie, but it's not my favorite of the ones that we've watched so far.
So let me say the things that I didn't like first.
Not an optimist.
I also noticed that there was a lot of weird cuts and editing during a lot of the fight scenes, which I didn't care for. The fight scenes were really good, and I wanted to see more of them. I think they cut away, and I think part of it is the Indian culture. A lot of, you know, here in America, we like, you know, to see the entrails pulled out of people and have it stapled to the wall. I think in these other countries, they don't do the graphic violence like we do, and so I think they hold back on that, or they do those cuts on purpose in order to, you know, it's implied what happens, but you really don't get to see what happens.
Yeah, you see like the blood splurt off the side of the shovel or something.
Right.
Well, no, I'm fine with that. It like Seven's one of my favorite like horror movies, like suspense, and you never see him kill the people. They tell you how it is. You know what I mean? Like you just see the aftermath, which is dope. Like I love that. Like because your mind is the worst.
Yeah, it's gonna make it way worse than anything that they could show.
Right. So go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
I was just gonna say the other thing that I didn't care for is I thought that the love story was a little shallow in this one. It was a little less believable, like that she found him like attractive. I mean, he's really pouring it on thick, so you got to give the guy credit for going to town. But you know, like that scene when he first runs into her because she's blocking off the traffic, and he's like kicking all these dudes' asses, and then he's going to grab a beer, but then he spots her and he misses the beer, and he has to stop because it's like never happened to him before, you know? He has to go back and grab the beer because he missed it. It like threw him off. But anyway, I just like her interaction with him was not as believable as the previous films that we've seen with like love interests that are going on. That said, this film was freaking great. I don't know what you guys were smoking, or if you guys were getting sick early. Like I enjoyed this film from front to back and the sequel. Just great stuff. Like I said, my only two complaints are the weird cuts that they were doing during the fight scenes, and then the kind of lackluster love story. But this guy, man, I get like at the beginning when he's like, "My name is Rocky," I'm like, "Oh, here we go," and then. And then he's out there making Stallone look like a chump.
But now that you said that there's a third one coming, I'm like, okay, I can see. I can see what they're probably. It's one of those ones where you can kind of predict where they're probably going to go with it, or what they're going to do.
I have no idea where they're going to go after the way the second one ends.
You also didn't know he was going to light his. Wait a minute. Never mind. That's the second movie.
Don't mess it up. Because look, now I'm gonna go see the second one. Well, I was anyways. Because again, they made a sequel. I have to see it, dude. Like, you know, like that's just the way I work. But like with those cuts, what it is so like it got popular with Liam Neeson's Taken, right? So Liam Neeson
even jumping the gate.
Yeah,
even jumping over a fence.
Yeah. Because what happens is that they can't do it. So the way you do it is it was like the old, like, if you can't punch a guy like fast like that, they're gonna they roll the film, like they speed up the film, so when you play it back for it goes faster, right? And then what they'll do is if it doesn't look good, they just cut to something else. But this one, it looked like they choreographed it so fast, like they didn't get, like you watch The Raid and it's one take, it's one shot. They're running at him because those guys are professionals, you know, like they know what they're doing and stuff like that. They didn't hire actors, they hired stunt people to fucking beat each other up. So this one's actors trying to do, you know, with some stunt people. So there's only so much that they can do that they're being taught. So they try to gussy it up with cuts and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like that's what happened in that era. Like when you said 2018, like that's what was real popular. It's like, oh, we don't need him to learn all the fight scenes. Like, you know, that's how John Travolta was in that From Russia with Love. You know, he was running around killing people and shit, but you look at him going, he couldn't whoop anyone's ass. You're like, I could whoop his ass, dude. Like, you know, so, but
maybe the dance battle.
Rocky did, like, I believed it. Like the whole movie, I was just like, yep, dude, this guy's gonna fucking kill everyone. And that was my biggest problem, was like that I didn't see any challenge for him. Like anytime you were kind of thinking something was gonna, he would sing happy birthday and kill everyone. Or
see,
you know,
that was the scene that sold me. Like I like up to that point I wasn't really sure, but when he's hanging from that and then they're coming in like mocking him like, oh, we're gonna kill you, and this one guy's like, oh, it's my birthday, and they're all laughing, and then all of a sudden you just hear him, happy birthday to you, and I was like, oh, here it comes, here it comes.
You know what? Maybe when we watched Hellraiser, Hellraiser and Phantasm are movies where when you watch just the first one, it'll leave you like this almost probably. And I remember liking those movies when I watched them when I was younger, but I didn't watch them by themselves. I watched the first two together at the same time, and it became a conglomerated. I don't even know if I'm making up words, but them together became one good movie to me. So maybe the second half of this is what I'm going to need to.
Well, but see, the thing is
the first one's bread and the second part's going to be meat.
I was so excited from the first one that I was compelled to lose sleep to see the second one.
It's true. He was bitching and moaning the whole time. Oh, you're not going to fucking. And then it ends and he just goes, wait, what time is it? How long is it?
Doing the calculation.
He's doing the math. He's like, well, we go to bed at around midnight anyway, so fuck it, let's just watch it.
I love it. What? Hey, dude. Like again,
And
like it would just there's just certain things that even Fuzzy was like, come on, dude. Like they tricked me. You guys tricked me into watching another Swords and Sandals movie without me knowing because I was excited. I was
You
like,
think we
oh.
know what we're getting into, Fuzzy?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking to the audience. I'm talking to
Okay,
the
okay.
audience. Yeah, no, the audience tricked me. 'Cause
Actually,
you
the
guys-
audience, I got this movie from I think he's a DoorDash driver. He's an Indian dude who at my work, and I was just like, hey, I see he's Indian. I'm just like, I was like, hey man, have you seen Balu Bali? And he's like, how do you know about Balu Bali? And I was talking to him about all the movies and whatnot. And then the next day he came in. He's like, you got to watch KGF. This is the greatest one. And I was just like, all right, yeah. That's why I had put those other two movies up first.
Mhm.
They were the ones that I had gotten in the comments, and then I was like, you know what, this guy. Then when I talked to him about Balu Bali, he subbed to the channel. He's like, oh, you guys are great, and he was like, and he said to watch this one, and this is like an actual dude who like was like. He was like a fan of the show, and he comes to my work too. And my employees are like, "You do Indian movie reviews?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Well,
yeah.
we appreciate the sub, but come on, man, don't trick me into this shit, dude.
I don't know if it went anywhere, but I actually had a brief interaction with Megan Basham from the Daily Wire about this stuff. She was talking about how awful American movies are by comparison to some Indian films that she's seen because she saw RRR because of the Oscar nom, and I jumped in there on her post on Twitter, and I told her, the Indian films are what give me hope for the future in terms of watching. And I said that we review this stuff for our YouTube channel, and so she liked that. She didn't interact really much beyond that, but like a lot of people were saying, in that chat, that the Indian films are just fantastic. And so far, I mean, we've been pretty good with. I mean, I'm sure we all have a different listing if you go through the 11 or 12 movies that we've watched so far. I'm sure we have a different listing of what's at the top and then so on down the line. But apart from maybe one or two, they've all been stellar, really. So,
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, even all my film buddies, like my buddies that do the stunt work, I've sent them these movies and going like, look, dude, go to this scene and this scene, like, check how dope this looks. I was like, I've never seen this before, like, and I'm an avid action movie guy. Like, like I watch everything. So sometimes when something catches me, if I'm in a theater and you hear me go, oh, like holy shit, or even sitting next to me, that means it's never been done before because I have never seen that shit, dude. Like and I'll point it out to everyone. Like, did you see how like that John Wick trailer that's coming out right now? When he's in the middle of the traffic and he flipped the guy in the car and smacked him, I threw my popcorn. I was like, God damn, that's badass. I was like, damn. So like again, like this movie, I told a couple guys, I was like, look, dude, don't watch the movie. Just watch these scenes and you'll be good, dude. Like, and they wrote back to me today and they were like same thing with the shovel. Like everyone, we all brought up the shovel, just how amazing it was. Like he didn't really even have fist fights. He was bitch slapping everybody. Like just slapping the shit out of everyone, and then he would pick up a weapon and just bash you over the head with it.
I noticed there was one when he was fighting and he like backhanded two people with the same swipe. And I was like, damn, this guy.
Three Stooges and shit.
And they flew.
Just like,
and they fucking flew.
I know, they cracked like the walls and stuff.
And I was gonna ask you, Josh, what would you think of this after watching this film? Right, I was like, I'm watching it and I go, if they gave this guy the Punisher, like the full blown like a Punisher Marvel movie, I think this director would do good. And that's coming from me who didn't really like it, but like that whole opening sequence, like the dark fucking thing, and they're flying out. I was like, this is a superhero movie. This guy's just killing everybody. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I was thinking. Is that like the way that a lot of the fight scenes went, especially when he wasn't using any weapons, when it was just like barehanded. It reminded me a lot of some of the scenes that we saw, especially at the beginning of Captain America and the Winter Soldier, when they go onto the Lumerian Star and Cap is like working his way through the terrorists, just like kicking him into the side of the ship and like throwing that knife and pinning his hand to the wall and then kicking him in the face. And you're just like, the way that Rocky was fighting, I'm like, oh, I've seen this before, and I love it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like that part, that's what I mean. Like those parts were like the part where I sat down and I was all into it. And what was making me laugh is I'm trying to read the rest of the parts and I'm like, the parts in between all the fights, and I was like, I don't care. Just wait, who's gonna fight him? Like I kept going, and his name was Rocky. That was the other thing. I just wanted everyone to start going, Rocky, Rocky, Rocky.
I was waiting for dun 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 when he had the shovel and whatnot.
When we move on to the second film, there's going to be something in that film that's going to remind you. At least it did for me. It reminded me of Go Go Gone. So when we watch the next one, I'll be interested to see if you guys pick up the same kind of vibe. It's something that in this film is very serious and it's badass, but it reminded me of something in that movie that was just like hilarious and kind of like ridiculous and off the wall. But they had a lot of similarities, so it'll be interesting to see if you guys pick up.
Go Go Agon's earlier.
Huh?
Go Go Agon is earlier.
Yeah, so I think that they took Go
Go Agon from influence.
They took an element of that and they used it in this one.
That's like
but the
John
girl
Wick
scene
being influenced by Bill and Ted.
So you guys know my loves from India, right? You know my lady from India. That's my girlfriend. You know how I have the order. You know what I'm saying? It's so this girl in this one, she may not act well and she may be a bitch, but I'm moving her to number 3, ladies and gentlemen, dude. Because that dance, dude, where she was playing peekaboo, she's like, dude. Me and my kid had a talk. We were like, "That's hot." I'm like, "Yeah, that's pretty fucking hot right there, dude." Like it looked like a music video from the '90s. Like I was waiting for Mariah Carey to pop out and say, "Please be my fantasy baby," and shit like that, dude. And it was so she's number 3 now. It's like the girl from the I can't remember the name, the superhero one, Brahmastra. That's the villain. She's number 1 in my book. Number 2 is the mom with the forks and fucking Vikram, dude. Fucking hot, dude. She killed everybody. She may be 1,000,000 years old, but she was badass, dude. Like, so she's number 2. And then number 3.
She had like a real basic name. It was like Joy or something like that. I forget.
Dude, Fuzzy had really good dreams. I don't want to discuss you people, you know what I mean? But it was good dreams of that lady with forks kicking asses.
It was Tina.
Tina.
Yeah.
Tina's number 2. And
all right, let's do it.
Number 3.
We're going to go to part 2 next week. We have to. We got to catch up with Josh and Ed. We have to. So, Fuzzy, we're going to have to suck it up, you and me. We're on the same page with this, but hopefully it's going to bust a phantasm for me, and the second one will make the first one good. As it stands for me, for spiciness, I'm at 5.
Ooh.
I'm at 5 because you guys gave me hope that out of the 4. Like, you guys lifted me out of the 4 into the 5.
You got a 5 with the hope of revision after watching the second one.
Those are the words. You did it. You said
it.
He gets to go back and revise his bullshit grade. After he watches the second one, I'm sorry.
He's going to give it a makeup test, dude. That's what it is. It's a makeup test. It won't get a 10, but it might get an 8, dude. So I'm giving it like a 6.5, 7. And the only reason why it's getting those for me is because of the fight scenes. Like, and that was just, and my girlfriend, of course, she gives it an extra 3 points. But the fight scenes were just amazing in this movie. Like, as much as it was like, in my opinion, like, again, like, I could see what happened. It was, they just couldn't choreograph it right, you know what I mean? But they still made it look badass. Like, he was Rocky is, what did they call him? Like a typhoon or something like that? What was the guy screaming on the... yeah, like, that was the best description. Yeah, like, I was like, dude, this guy he's the living, breathing, you know what I mean? And I love the way that the movie was being told. Like, I love that idea. Like, it was really good. But I could do without all the stop smoking shit. That was gross. I had to have a talk with my son because of that fucking scene. Yeah,
those things were brutal, dude. I was like, what?
Yeah. I was like, and then when it showed the kid, I was in my head, I'm going like, who gave that kid cigarettes? I was like, ooh, I wouldn't give my
That's
kids
pretty
cigarettes.
brutal. Like those
I was
swords
like,
on their face, it's like,
They
are you
took that
sure you're
big
smoking
face
cigarettes?
off.
Are sure you're
I
not
didn't
getting
watch it.
in
I
like
watched the first 2
syphilitic
seconds of what was
dicks?
happening, and I was like, man, tell me
I
when
was
it's
like,
over.
I'm not.
All right, so spicy level. Okay, to be fair, it's probably getting this because I've seen the second movie. I will preface that it's an 8 for me. It's a good movie. It's fantastic. Yeah, I don't know if he's a hero or villain yet. Not sure, but it
Yeah,
still
especially
has
after
that
they show up at the statue of Kali. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's pretty. That was
The same fucking. I'm like, is this the Temple of Doom set? Like,
Right.
So
where's the lava elevator? The elevator.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a bold step here, and I'm gonna say that this movie is probably gonna be in my top 3 now for these Indian films.
Holy shit!
And I would say that before I saw the second half. The second half just clinches the deal. Like I said, there's some parts in it that are weak, but the character Rocky just works perfectly for me in like every way. He's like the overemphasized masculinity that you really want to see on the screen, and we just don't ever get anymore these days.
Josh just wants his beard
Bro,
and hair.
I do too. I was literally trying to figure out how to do it. I was like, I'm gonna get that shit. Do I need to like moose it?
So,
He was a sexy dude.
so
Dude, he was bad at like even the over the shoulders. There's like the 20 over the shoulder shots. You know what I mean? Where he does the fucking like every one of them you're just like, oh fuck yeah, dude. Like he's gonna kick, like he's gonna kick some ass, dude.
I'm gonna give this one a 9 on the spice scale.
dang.
Definitely.
God, the roles are reversed again, ladies and gentlemen. Dude,
Yeah.
that is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I have more hope now for 2. I have way more hope for 2 because if you guys are pumping it up that much and you're giving it that grade, then something awesome's coming in number 2. So
I just
okay,
hope we're not cocaine bearing it for you.
I hope not to. I've been trying not to do. I even had to go back and watch Cocaine Bear again just because I was like, okay, I know what it is. I'm gonna watch it for what it is, and yeah, it was better the second time around for me.
There you have it, folks. Next week, KGF 2. We'll see you then.
Peace.
Ah.